realize that none of you probably know what a chatbot is. So essentially it's a messaging service that lives within your Facebook Messenger that you're already using to speak to your friends, your mom, your dad, whoever. And it's kind of that friend that just happens to know all the cool places where to eat and drink in London and Copenhagen right now. But before going into too many details, I'm going to tell you what exactly does AI and machine learning do with this, and I want to show you the problem that we decided to solve with this project.
Well, my tacos. Sure. Which place should we go to? Literally any taco place. Come on. There's so many taco places. We gotta make sure we go to the best one. I'll do some research. Great. I'll sit here and do nothing.
Essentially, you can go next. This is essentially the problem that we decided to solve with Sure, is that we are really overloaded with information right now. As you can see in this clip, I can imagine that that's how the process of looking for the perfect restaurant sometimes looked for you when you did that. So endless searching in Google, going through thousands of lists, you don't know which one is good, and reading reviews on Yelp. And it's not really the best solution. So information overload we experience, and it's just happening more and more. The other point that we realized on our journey is the paradox of choice. So linked to information overload, the more information we're given, the less satisfied we actually are. And that's not good if we are not just looking for a restaurant, but also more important things to do in life. The third one is that as we're just crowded with information and we didn't know what to decide, we tend to go to our friends and people we know to ask for recommendations, to just skip all of the other solution. And we would trust bloggers and social influencers more. When we see a really cool looking brunch place on Instagram, we tend to trust that more and go there rather than reading reviews on the Yelp from people who we don't know. The fourth one is hyper-personalization. So we sort of start expecting to have everything on demand and personalized to us. Yet when you do searches on Google, nowadays when you're looking for shoes, when I'm looking for shoes, I still get presented high heels, trainers, fancy shoes, whatever. And Google has a lot of data on me and you, so it could be more personalized experience. And the last one is app fatigue. So I don't know how many of you use all your apps that you have on your phone, but we have this tendency to use less and less and kind of go into these core apps, like messaging apps in particular. And that's why small micro experiences in apps, such as Uber, for example, just kind of happen to become an integration of messaging apps. So already a year ago in the US, you could order an Uber from just typing in your Facebook Messenger, and that was one of the points that we also realized and wanted to do. So all of these 5 points kind of led to Sure. And Sure is, as I said, lives in Facebook Messenger. It's providing you personalized food and drink recommendations based on where you are and based on contact as well. So it's really trying to learn from you. If you, for example, are vegan, so if you ask for a vegan restaurant, then we'll try and remember that and either ask you next time whether you're still vegan and whether the service should assume that you're vegan and only show you vegan restaurants and things like that. So trying to be really contextual and personalized. With AI, the other problem is that go next. These are just 2 examples. One of them is kind of how chatbots are built for people. Starting with social influencers, this is Casey Neistat, a filmmaker and YouTuber from New York, and he suddenly has a chatbot that answers simple Q&A on him, delivers you the kind of most recent content that he produced, and it's a really new, almost direct marketing channel for him to communicate with his fan base and audience in general. And restaurants are moving to that direction a little bit as well. I mean, they're still building bespoke apps to pay for a meal at the restaurant or things like that, but they're realizing that many people just delete that app the day after because it's really crowding their phones. And the other one is this example of a chatbot from Whole Foods put in this chatbot that delivers you recipes based on what ingredients you have. You can also just put in some emojis and then you get a recipe based on that. So this is what they're experimenting with. So there's a huge potential for businesses to use conversational interfaces powered by AI to either start with some small, simple Q&A and FAQ experiences, but then also add more capabilities later on.